We back. Let's go. Y'all know what time it is. San Francisco 49ers morning show. Let's go.
Intercepted. It is picked up by Crocker. Over midfield. He'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Crop Talk TV podcast. Peace.
Welcome to another episode of the San Francisco 49ers morning show. I'm your host, former NFL and AFL defensive back, Eric Crocker. And of course, man, I'm excited to have everybody in here. Excited for everybody to be back. I want to thank everybody that has, I see the messages. I see the DMs. I see the messages. Anytime I go live on Locked On 49ers with my co-host Brian Peacock, 5 days a week. Make sure y'all tune into that. I see the comments. When's the morning show coming back? Anytime I'm on with Grant Cohn at 11 a.m., I see the questions in the comments. When's the morning show coming back? Well, damn it, the morning show is back. Let's go. And got some things we're revamping. Probably will be a new intro soon. I know y'all like the little smooth beat, but, we got to turn it up. It's season 2 now. That's what we're going to call this. Season 2 of the San Francisco 49ers morning show. Doing something a little different with QB Monday. So Greg Pinelli will be on, but I think he's going to have his own show. So it's going to be like in the evening time. All right, so it won't be in the morning, but it still will be with QB. We'll figure all that out. We'll iron all the details out on that. Can't wait to launch that. Also, training camp is coming up, man. Training camp is coming up, and that's a big part of why we're back on here, man. We're back on here because we got some real stuff to talk about. But anyways, I have a beat writer that will be coming on once a week to give us updates on everything that's going on. This person is there on the grounds at training camp. I won't be there. I'm in Arkansas, and I'm doing all kinds of other little traveling. But I do have somebody that will let us know everything that's going on. Excited to announce who that person is. They'll be joining us next Wednesday, I believe. All right. So shout out to that. But, man, feels good to be back. Got a lot of stuff going on. Y'all know, got the gym turning up. Got, everything, man. Everything's good. And it's been great to see everybody tuning in. So anyways, we got a lot to talk about this morning. And it starts with the news about Jimmy Garoppolo, which we're hearing. Oh, hold on. 49ers girl. No, it is not Jason DePonte. It's a credentialed beat writer, not Grant Cohn. All right, but anyways, y'all see who it is. But let me know how everybody's feeling, man, because it's been a while, and we know we like to do our mental health checks. So 5 flames if you're feeling great. I see my guy Jared Carter. This is what's up, man. I love this. My dog Carter, he's a Raider fan, and he tunes into the 49ers show just to support. So shout out to my dog Jared. He's actually, he's from Sacramento. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Stockton, But we both in Arkansas, man. He out there in Little Rock. So shout out to my dog Jared. But 5 flames if you're feeling great. I saw some of the flames before I even really started getting going. Here we go. Look at the flames coming in. Let's go. I see the flames. I see it. So you already know, 5 flames if you're feeling great. Anything less than that, we got to talk about it. I'm here for you. I am here for you. Let's go. Your boy Stephen Hall, we're right here. Yeah, Stephen Hall, man. I know Stephen Hall. Yes, sir. He was here at UAM with me. All right, but let's get it, y'all. We're hearing some conflicting stories a little bit. I'm going to give my analysis. Oh, real quick. I know I'm all over the place right now because it's like, damn, like it's been a while. It's been a while since I talked to y'all. It's been a while since I addressed everything that's going on. So the reason why we have not had the morning show, dude, I don't want to just make up random topics, y'all. Y'all know me. I feel like when we come on the morning show, it's to have like real discussions, real debates. We want a real talk, right? Like real football talk. And I felt like a lot of the offseason was about making up and pushing different narratives and talking about the same things over and over and over. And I'm like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that on the morning show. All right, this is for the knowledgeable, the educated, the people trying to learn, the people I can learn from. That's what this is from. And I felt like that stretch in the offseason, it was just too much. Too much making up topics. Now, Locked On 49ers, Peacock and I think we do a good job of maneuvering through that, but we can't wait to talk football, and that's what this is. So, season 2. Season 2 of the San Francisco 49ers Morning Show is kicking off right now. So, Jimmy Garoppolo, there are conflicting reports out there. All right, so the first one we saw was, today's Thursday morning. So Tuesday morning was the first one we saw. And it was Ian Rappaport. And he says, Jimmy Garoppolo recently saw Dr. Neal for a checkup and is progressing well. San Francisco is thrilled with where he is physically, sources say. The expectation is he'd be fully cleared around mid-August. Perhaps then we'll know his destination. So when you hear it from that perspective, it sounds like mid-August is when things will start kind of kicking off with Jimmy Garoppolo. Won't know anything until then. And there's some, I don't want to say pros and cons to that. I'd say a lot of pros, right? With different ways to kind of look at that. If it's mid-August when Jimmy Garoppolo is cleared and that's when things will start happening, one big question, will he be at training camp? Will he be there training on the sideline? I'd assume, but they haven't asked him to be anywhere yet. They have maintained that Jimmy Garoppolo will be traded. So there's that. All right. But what are the pros of that, right? It gives, and again, I don't wish injury on anyone, knock on wood, but you never know. Someone might get injured and the team might get a little bit more desperate to have to get a Jimmy Garoppolo. So a dark horse team, a team that we're not even really expecting to be in the market for a quarterback potentially by mid-August can definitely now be like, okay, we need a quarterback. What are we going to do? Or a team doesn't have to be an injury. Maybe they just don't like what they're seeing from their quarterbacks at all. Maybe they overvalued Geno Smith and Drew Lock and, whatever, right? Whatever the case is, teams need quarterbacks around the league, and maybe Jimmy Garoppolo could be better than their potential starter. We do know a team that is out of the running. It sounds like Cleveland Browns. Maybe it's just talk, but it sounds like Cleveland Browns are like, nah, we are good with where we're at. Now, and I feel like it's either Cleveland Browns or the Seahawks right now. I don't know if 49ers are trading them to Seahawks. All right. But those were the two teams where I thought of. And if Cleveland says, nah, we're out, it's like, damn, it's a little less likely he's going to get traded, right? At least that's what it feels like to me. So there's that part. And then there's the, Trey Lance, right? If you're talking about mid-August, that gives the 49ers a chance to see Trey Lance. And what is, Trey Lance? Is he pleasing to them at that point? I would say the best thing for, Trey Lance, the 49ers, really is just to commit to him. So good or bad, you work through it and you figure out how to work around it until you can continue to add to his game. But unless he's just like so bad, and you don't know. I mean, I don't expect that. But let's say he's just so bad and it's like, yeah, we got to keep Jimmy Garoppolo around. But then, I mean, that's a whole other can of worms that you're opening up and issues that could potentially be arising. So you hope that's not the case. But sounds like from everything that we heard during OTAs, sounds like Trey Lance is on the right path. All right, and we're not going to talk a whole lot about Trey Lance today. We'll get to that maybe Monday with Greg Pinelli. I'll probably have him on the morning show until we really start our show. But that was kind of the Ian Rappaport news. Again, 49ers are through where he's at. Sources say the expectations will be fully cleared around mid-August, and perhaps then we'll know a destination. Now, yesterday, we get a report from Adam Schefter, and this one was a little different, and there's a key word that he uses here. 49ers officially have given Jimmy Garoppolo's agent Don Yee and Carter Chow permission to seek a trade, sources say. Now, the key word there again, officially, because I think everyone knows that they probably had permission this whole time to kind of seek trade and all that. But when you hear officially, to me, that just sounds like, all right, like now it is 100% set in stone. It's not just like, yeah, you could do this. Like, no, go find somebody. Go find somebody and see what you can make happen. All right. They're giving them permission to seek trade. Garoppolo has been cleared to start practicing. So now I hear that, and obviously like that wording is a little bit different than what Ian Rappaport said. Again, Ian Rappaport. The expectation is he'll be fully cleared around mid-August. So when I hear he has been cleared to practice from Adam Schefter, but I hear he'll be fully cleared in mid-August by Ian Rappaport, to me, that says that right now he can do things at practice, right? Like he can throw, he can work on different things. If you need him to, walk through and throw the ball and things like that, he could do that. Fully cleared is he's ready for contact, right? Like he's ready. Like, so cleared to practice could be 7-on-7, right? He could be out there 7-on-7 throwing the ball around, so he could practice. Again, fully cleared is we're taking everything. All the handcuffs are off. You're out there, team. So 11-on-11, 7-on-7, every single thing. Fully padded. Like he's ready to go. He's able to practice. So that's kind of just my interpretation of the two different reports there. All right, one is again cleared to practice. 49ers are still expected to exercise caution with him this summer, and that sounds like probably not gonna have him do too much. All right, that's just what it sounds like to me, if anything at all. That might be their way of saying we're not gonna have him show up. All right, so whether that's gonna be the case or not, we'll see. But it was definitely interesting, kind of hearing these two reports and then me looking at it, reading it, trying to figure out a way to kind of, just break it down a little bit. And what does this stuff mean? I also want to say, I felt like there were a lot of people celebrating the news of 49ers are expected to exercise with caution, all that, he's been officially given permission to seek a trade, etc. And there are people like, hell yeah, get Jimmy out of here. Oh yeah, deuces. We out. Like, you know what I'm saying? You see all those tweets and things. I saw the spaces jumping off, and I'm like, I don't feel any type of way about it. Listen, Jimmy was a solid quarterback. He did a lot of really good for the 49ers. And to me, it was just the situation, right? It was, when you draft a guy 3rd overall, at some point, you got to see what he can give you. At some point, you got to see what he can do. And you got to give him everything possible, all the resources, all the snaps, everything to really kind of turn into that guy. And I felt like that was always part of the plan, to move forward with Trey Lance and move on from Jimmy Garoppolo. So I never felt any type of way. And there are a lot of people, oh, well, no, Jimmy, no, listen, they told you what the plan was when they traded 3 first-round or used 3 first-round picks on a player. They told you what it was, right? So I don't feel any type of way. To me, it's not a celebration. I'll tell you what, the only thing that I don't even want to say celebrating, but throughout this entire offseason, Trey Lance has felt the brunt of Jimmy Garoppolo continuing to be on the roster. That was kind of the thing to me, where it's like, dude, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch told you exactly where they were. They told you all along where we tried to trade Jimmy Garoppolo, the injury slowed it up. At the owners' meeting, oh yeah, we're trading Jimmy Garoppolo. We feel comfortable with where Trey Lance is and continue to build on that. And again, I'll have Greg Pinelli on to talk about what exactly that means. Towards the end of the OTAs, yeah, I still expect Kyle Shanahan. I still expect Jimmy Garoppolo to be traded. So they've been saying it all along, right? They're saying it all along. I'm just telling you what the plan was. They told you what the plan was, and everyone in the media, maybe it's for clicks, maybe they want to get the listens, their shows. They made it a discussion. Again, the reason why we didn't have this San Francisco 49ers morning show was because, you know what? I felt like I don't want to be that person to make up these narratives every single day and talk about it, every day with y'all, like the same topics over and over and over. No. And that's what the media started to do. And then, have y'all played the game telephone? I'm pretty sure most of y'all played telephone in elementary school, right? Where the whole class stands in a circle and you say one thing to one person and then, it continues on and on and on. And by the end of it, it's like this totally different conversation, right? So I could say, your mom smells like fish. That was bad, sorry. Your mom smells like nachos. I need to stop with the mom. You don't take showers, right? You know what I'm trying to say. It could be anything, right? Eric likes to play Madden. There we go. That's better. Eric Crocker likes to play Madden. And you can say that to one person, and then by the time it gets to the end, it's something totally different. Right? And I feel like some of that was what's going on with this conversation surrounding Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo. Even though we have the person, Kyle Shanahan, he's the first person, or John Lynch even before that, right? So the first two people were John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. Yeah, we tried to trade him, expect him to be traded. Injuries slow things down. Yeah, we still expect him to be traded. And then they kept going. And by the time it gets to Colin Cowherd, it's, Trey Lance has arm fatigue. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Which I will say, arm fatigue is a real thing because, I train athletes out here, and I've been throwing the football, right? And I've been teaching these kids, playing catch, all this different stuff, right? And like, I was throwing yesterday, and I'm like, damn, is this arm fatigue? Like, is this arm fatigue? So I think that's a real thing. But anyways, it's kind of going away now. I don't feel it right now. We'll see. We'll see later. I train them in a little bit over an hour. But I say that to say, they started to continue to run with these narratives. And it was like, did y'all not listen to the first two people in this game telephone? They told you that this guy is being traded. So why do you keep trying to make something else out of it? Why? So that was interesting. But anyways, I feel like we've touched enough on that. I definitely want to bring y'all on to get into more of that. If y'all do want to talk about Robert Nkemdiche, and I remember when he was drafted, I have his stuff pulled up here. I do remember when he was drafted. How long ago was that? 2015, huh? 2016 draft. Okay, not too long ago. First round pick. And a lot of people, he got picked number 29 overall, but if I remember correctly, people thought he'd be picked like top 10, mid-teens. And him falling to 29 was a shock to a lot of people. But played for Arizona Cardinals for 3 years after being a first round pick. Played for the Miami Dolphins. Missed 2020 for whatever reason. Maybe he opted out for COVID. Played with Seattle Seahawks last year. I don't even think I remember him on there. And now he's with the 49ers. I don't know exactly what that means with signing with the 49ers. When I was, Peacock and I just did, recently, one of the last episodes, we did a defensive line kind of breakdown. And I don't know. It's 3 tech. Now, 49ers, I always give them the benefit of the doubt because I feel like they've done good with just picking up people off the street and getting some type of contribution out of them. Career sacks, he has 4.5. That's not great, right? For someone who started, I don't even want to say started, but first round pick, played 3 years, Arizona, played 5 years in the NFL, and you have 4.5 sacks and you're a first round pick. That ain't great. All right. But that's Robert Nkemdiche. We'll see, if he can compete for a roster spot. That's something I'll be looking out for. Tanya Sayal, let's go. Good morning, Croc. Just showing love to you and your show. Keep up the great work. I appreciate it. It's good. It feels good to be back. I'm not gonna lie. Some people missed the intro, but I didn't want to come up here and just make up stuff for 3 months. I didn't want to come up here and just talk about the same thing every single day, every day. So we still got people coming in, tuning in. Don't worry, we'll be back here tomorrow morning as well, and from here on out every day next week. But y'all know what time it is now, man. It is time to bring y'all on live. So if there's things that you want to talk about pertaining to anything really with the 49ers, it's been a long offseason. It's been a really long offseason. Feel free to come on live right now. And whatever it is that y'all want to talk about, the floor is yours. We've discussed so far just my thoughts on Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter and some of their reports and what I felt like. Again, fully recovered by mid-August. That's what Ian Rappaport said. Cleared to practice is what Adam Schefter reported. Those two things still they mean something a little different, but kind of the same. Full practice means you are live for everything, 7-on-7, team, 11-on-11, every single drill. Cleared to practice just means you could be at practice, you could throw the ball around, you can probably do 7-on-7, you could probably do non-contact type stuff, probably won't throw them in full team drills. So that was kind of what I took from that with the two differences in their wording. Yeah. So there's a chat. Y'all feel free, come in live. Anything else y'all want to talk about, go ahead, put it in the chat. If there's questions y'all have, thoughts, my thoughts on maybe certain camp battles, feel free. Camp body, I don't see him beating out Givens and the boys. Hey, Givens is one of my favorite players on the 49ers. Not in the sense of I just think he's just this amazing defensive lineman, but just from the standpoint of Givens, I think he does things really good. Like he has enough for what he is, right? He's a good depth piece. Is he going to be like your every down defensive tackle. I don't know. But I know when he's rested or whatever and how they've used him, he comes in, he's slicing in, he gets tackles for loss, he's putting pressure on quarterbacks. I was watching the Week 18 game, the 49ers against the Rams, and there was a play where he just fired off the ball, whooped the defensive lineman. I was like, whoa. Yeah, he could play. He could play. Hey, Croc, who gets cut for the new guy spot? I guess the big question is with the new guy, were they already at 90 on the roster? So that's something I don't know. I don't know if they were at 90. Because sometimes they have like a couple open spots and then they look to fill it. So were they already at 90? I say, how many D linemen made the roster last year? Oh, D Ford. Ooh, that's a good one. D Ford gets cut. So we had the question, who gets cut? G Crackhawk says D Ford. I can see that. That is crazy. And I saw somebody up here say it too. Raphael. He says D Ford is still on the roster. That is interesting. 11. So are y'all saying 49ers keep 11? Is that how many they kept last year too? 11? So biggest question to me is the offensive line. Curious to see who wins the competition at center. So that's a great question, Josh. Or not a great question, a great statement. When my guy Brandon Graham, he runs the SF San Francisco 49ers or the SF 49ers Twitter account, Instagram. He does a really good job, putting out content, does all that great stuff. It's a huge Instagram account. He put out there 49ers about to sign a former first rounder, and he wanted to wait till he heard. So a lot of people are speculating who is this former first rounder going to be. And people started speculating Odell Beckham. And I'm like, no, they're not signing Odell Beckham. Not right now, at least. And again, not saying that it can never happen, but I'd assume that they'd go into this season with the receivers they have now. And whenever Odell Beckham is cleared, if they're not happy with where they are at the receiver position, then maybe they can make a signing for an Odell Beckham. But right now, didn't see it. I thought it made a lot of sense to go offensive line. There are a couple of offensive linemen out there that could probably come in and be legit starters. 49ers decided not to make that move. And you look at the offensive line, and Josh, I think you're right. Biggest question mark, especially in the interior. Best case scenario, like you're solid. All right. Best case scenario, you're solid. You got, I want to say Joshua Garnett, but Aaron Banks. It's damn near the same person. But you got Aaron Banks at left guard. And if he hits the ground running and he's great, awesome. If the center works out, it's like great. Right? If the right guard works out with Daniel Brunskill, great, right? But you need everything. I feel like you're not leaving yourself very much wiggle room. You almost have to be perfect. You have to be like, everything has to go exactly to plan. And will that happen? That's more than likely that's not going to happen. Now, one thing I've noticed from the San Francisco 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, they've done a good job playing around deficiencies, right? Let's say the cornerbacks last year. It is never ideal. Everybody talk about, cornerbacks suck, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, these dudes were playing without their starters. And most teams in the NFL, if you lose, like let's say week two, you're going off. Week two, you're playing Josh Norman and Deommodore Lenoir. Those were not your projected starters to start the season. It was Verrett and Emmanuel Mosley. So you're telling any team in the league, week two, and then several other weeks, you have to play without your starting corners. Like, you're going to be in trouble. And I thought however they did it, the 49ers did a good job of overcoming that, whether it was with scheme, whatever, right? Just kind of limiting things. On paper, it's like, well, they still got the sixth best pass defense. I don't think the pass defense was that good to that extent, especially the corners. But it's like, at the very least, you figured out a way to maneuver around that and limit passing yards per game and limit, the explosive plays, for the most part. So when I look at the offensive line, I think Kyle does a good job of figuring out different ways to kind of hide guys. Like Brunskill, I don't think he's a starter for most teams. And I don't think the 49ers ideally want Brunskill to be a starter. But he's had to play. And they've done a really good job of being able to work around him. Matter of fact, I'd almost be more comfortable with Brunskill playing center. I actually feel more comfortable. But then you have to figure out, okay, who's going to be the other guard. And who. So now you're doing too much. Pass rush helps back in when they started getting pressures. DB started playing better. Yeah, man. Pass rush, and pass rush, like, no matter how good your secondary is, if you don't have pass rush, you're not going to be good. All right? But it definitely helps when your pass rush is good, and then it makes everybody look better. Croc, do the 49ers play more man coverage scheme this year? That's something I'm really excited to see. Because last year, they played a lot of off. And I don't know, I'm trying to see, like, well, they're playing off because of the corners. They want to, be a little safer, etc. But then it's like, dude, the dudes that played off were press man corners in college. And then you play them in off zone. And then now you go out and you get Ward. But it's like, well, Ward's a press man guy. Well, Embry Thomas was a press man guy at Michigan. Like, literally, that was all he did, was be a press man guy. That was all Embry Thomas did. He was press man at Michigan. If you put on Michigan film, I'd say 9 out of every 10 plays, he's playing up at the line of scrimmage. And then he goes to the 49ers and is like, hey, go play off. It's like, what? Like, that's not what he did. So we'll see what they do. I'd assume that they play Travarius Ward more at the line of scrimmage. But I don't know. We'll see. And if they play him more at the line of scrimmage, is it more man? Because you can be lined up in man press. You could be lined up in press alignment, but still be playing zone. A lot of times the giveaway is the guy outside shade a little bit. So if you line up press alignment, but you're slightly outside shade, you're probably bailing out. Or you're able to funnel it inside. Go ahead, fire off any of your training camp questions. Any questions they'll have, we'll continue to talk about that. The link is in the chat for anybody that wants to come on live. Feel free. Late to the show, but fire. Okay, we got the Flyers in 5 Flames. We're feeling good. Let's get it. We're back. Again, I said I'm gonna name this Season 2. All right, Season 2 of the San Francisco 49ers Morning Show. We took a off-season break. Didn't want to, create too many weird narratives every day trying to think about what we're going to talk about on the show. Jimmy Garoppolo smells like fish. Now, you could say that, again, if we playing telephone, you could say that. Then by the time you get to the end of, the last person, it's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo smells like roses. That's how telephone works. Who do you think wins the nickelback position? I hope Emmanuel Mosley. I think he's the best guy for the job. So, if you're saying, Croc, okay, here's a better way to word it. Croc, who would you start at nickel? Emmanuel Mosley. Croc, are you concerned about Hufanga? That's a great question. Hufanga, again, he has some of his limitations. And I don't know. Okay, I'm not concerned. All right, here's why I'm not concerned. I had to get off that. I didn't want to, play the fence a little bit. Well, it could be good, but then I don't know. All right, here's what I do know. Hufanga is a really hard worker. And he's probably more of one of those guys who are, kind of an overachiever. And when I say that, because he's not the most athletic guy out there. But I bet on guys with tremendous work ethics, even if they have issues somewhere else. I feel like they'll always figure out a way to overcome that. And I think Hufanga is one of those guys. So if the 49ers didn't go out there and draft a guy, I know they signed Odom. I don't even know if they expect Odom to be the starter. I think they signed him to be, okay, you could be a third safety / special teamer. But I assume they really like Hufanga. And if they do, and he's going into the season preparing to be the guy, I think his preparation is going to be on point. And I think he'll be solid. We got our first call-in guy here. We got my guy, Mr. Roscoe's, aka Chris. Chris, you want to touch on this too? Are you concerned about Hufanga?
No, I'm not. Honestly, I'm not concerned about anything on the team. I mean, he's a question mark. I'm not concerned though, but he's a question mark. Just like Trey Lance is a question mark. Just like Banks is a question mark, and just like what is it? Jake Brindle is a question mark. So I'm not necessarily worried, but those are question marks, and they need to answer. They need to answer the question: are they good enough to play on this team? And we'll find out during the season. I mean, Hufanga is an All-American safety. It's last year in college. Guy was a had a knack for the football. He has amazing instincts, and I think instincts can override that lack of speed. And also just having another year experience. So, he's a very good tackler. So, I mean, we just gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see. I, I'm I'm actually more excited to see what Banks is going to do. I love when players get doubted, which a lot of 49er fans are doubting Banks for because I guess he didn't play last year, or he was right he wasn't dressed for quite a few games. But I'm actually excited for Aaron Banks. I think he can. I think he'll be good. I know you said you didn't like him right much coming out of college,
I did not think he was a fit for what I thought the 49ers were looking for in their offensive lineman.
which is an athletic guard, right?
Somebody that can move a little bit better and get out in space.
Yeah. So I mean, supposedly they had him lose weight, and I mean he had a long time to work. So we're gonna see. I'm excited about that position, as well as I'm excited about the running backs position. So I don't know. I like. Oh, and then Kinlaw, he's a question mark, and that's just because he just he hasn't been healthy lately. But I think he's going to have a tremendous season.
Awesome. Somebody said he sounds sick, and like, yeah, I know we were talking yesterday. You were telling me you were a little under the weather.
Well, I mean I feel much better now. I just you just got the mucus in your system,
Ew,
but I feel much better.
that's what's
But
up.
hey, all them other teams about to feel sick when we play them. How about that?
So, what
Hey,
are you
Croc.
most excited? What are you most excited to look forward to? And anybody else that wants to chime in on that, I'll put the link in the chat. And there's some questions I starred so that I can answer them as well. But uh, what are you most excited? Now, and maybe other people come on live and answer that. What are you looking forward to seeing from the 49ers?
I mean,
Like,
it's
what
the
are you most
obvious.
excited about?
It's the obvious answer.
Trey Lance?
It's the obvious answer. Yes, Trey Lance. I think I think Kyle Shanahan offense was handicapped for what ever since Jimmy Garoppolo got here. Even before Jimmy Garoppolo got here. Now, part of it is his fault, but the offense was handicapped. And now we have somebody I feel that can take the offense to another level
Hold on. When you
because
when you say real quick, when you say handicap, can you elaborate on that, please?
yes, I can elaborate on that. When I say handicap, I feel like the offense was handicapped because Jimmy Garoppolo skill set was just very limited. He was not very good throwing outside the numbers. He was not very good throwing the ball downfield. He was not very good extending plays. So if Kyle Shanahan, I mean, for the most part, Kyle Shanahan is going to call up a dang near perfect play. But when that play is not perfect, which you said this before, when the play is not perfect, I need a playmaker. I need somebody who's going to bail me out. And Jimmy just couldn't do that. And I'm not, trying to bash on Jimmy, but it's just he had limited skill set. And then you add in the turnovers. It was just I'm surprised that we even made it as far as we did. But when you have an amazing play caller, play designer, when you have an amazing run game, things work. And when you have amazing playmakers like a Debo Samuel, where you can get him open in space, you George Kittle, get him open in space, let him, get the yards after the catch. And I will give Jimmy credit. He was decent over the middle. That was his strength. He was very good throwing the ball over the middle. He had a very quick release, and so he got the ball out to where he allowed his players to make plays. But now you have somebody who has the potential of being much better throwing the ball outside the numbers. You have somebody who's much better who's throwing the ball downfield, which in his start against the Texans, I think it was the most air yards we had.
Yeah, since
when
for
Trey Lance
like a few
played.
years.
Yeah, so and then we have somebody who can extend plays. When things are not perfect, well, Trey Lance, you're gonna have to make a play. This league is defined by playmakers. You see all the Super Bowl winners? I mean, who won the Super Bowl last year? I forgot.
The Rams.
Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, playmakers. Super Bowl the year before, Tom Brady, he's the GOAT. Patrick Mahomes, the year they beat us. Playmakers.
You can't. So the last couple of days, and my bad to cut you off. The last couple of days, they've been showing a bunch of like big time games on NFL Network.
Yeah.
Right. And a couple of days ago, I watched Tom Brady, and it was crazy watching Tom because it was like, this guy always makes the right decision. It's just it was weird to watch because it's like, man, like it has to be so frustrating to play against him. And then last night I'm watching the Chargers against the Kansas City Chiefs and watching Mahomes and watching Justin Herbert. And, obviously because the 49ers have a young quarterback, I watch a lot of these other quarterbacks just to see like what exactly are they doing different? And they have their misses. They have their weird throws. They have their off target. They have those things. But their ability to make plays, and I know you'll hear people push back, you don't need a big, fast, strong arm quarterback. You don't need to make play. You need to be able to play from the pocket. And it's always going to start from the pocket. But I will say, watching those two quarterbacks, they definitely made more plays outside of the pocket than I could remember. Right? Because when you're watching it, you just watch them and it's like, okay, oh, that was sweet. Okay, look at that throw. But watching them last night from a more to, watch them to give some analysis on what I'm saying, I guess you could say. Almost as if I'd be watching a prospect, right, coming out of college. It was very interesting to watch how they played because a lot of it was off script. A lot of what Mahomes was doing was he'd drop back and he'd step up and he'd roll out to the right. He'd extend the play. All of a sudden, Tyreek Hill is open for a 15-yard throw that turns into a 30-yard gain. And Herbert did a lot of the same thing. And it was, move off of his spot, roll to the right, throw, hit a guy on the sideline. And it was very clear to me how much pressure that puts on a defense every single play. And I'm not saying you have to have that because I think there's a lot of people that's like, oh, you got to be able to move around. You got to be able to do this to play in the NFL nowadays. I'm not saying you have to. I think Mac Jones, there's a scenario where he's really good without being Justin Herbert movement-wise or Patrick Mahomes movement-wise. But it's very clear how much pressure that puts on a defense, play in and play out, because you end up giving up a lot of chunk yards like that, and it's really hard to account for it. So that again, you don't have to play like that, but when you have it, it just makes a difference. And obviously what we've seen from Trey Lance so far, and he hasn't done it to the level of Mahomes or Herbert, but we have seen that element of his game. And that's the one thing where I'm like, man, maybe he has to rely on that a little bit more too. And there's one element of this with Mahomes and Herbert. How well are they seeing the field to where, maybe that's why they have to do that. Like there was a play where it was a 2-point conversion and Patrick Mahomes stepped back, dropped back. He's in the pocket. He moves, he scrambles right, then he throws kind of across his body, and he completes the pass for a 2-point conversion. Well, if he would have played with timing and rhythm, and I try to look at like maybe what would Mac Jones do, right? He had the guy on the flare out right now. If he would have threw it in the spot where a guy can kind of catch and just turn upfield, it would have been completed. So there's different ways to win. But it is very clear when a guy does play with that second reaction type ability, it puts a ton of pressure on defenses every single play. It's tough. And it is exciting to see that the 49ers have a quarterback that has that type of ability. Again, still has to be able to play from the pocket, and Kyle Shanahan's going to really push that. But the things that you can't teach, if you're Kyle Shanahan and it's like, man, he just has this different ability than what we've had recently, that's the part that is really exciting.
And that's what the league is just turning into, honestly. With all the quarterbacks that's coming in, that's what the league is turning into. How athletic.
Hold on, Chris. The reason why is because the guys coming in, they just have that ability, right? Like, guys are more athletic. Again, I talk about.
No, that's what I was about to touch on.
Yeah, the athletes that I train, right?
Yep.
Even a lot of the quarterbacks that I've been around, they're just able to move better. Yep. They move. They're able to move. They're more athletic. Kids are working on footwork early on. Kids are working on speed early on. I train a lot of baseball players. Some of them are starting to grow into like, hey, I want to play quarterback as well. Well, their parents pay me to, hey, can you teach my kid how to run? Can you teach my kid to get faster, more explosive? Those kids eventually will be quarterbacks that people look at. So quarterbacks just naturally have more mobility now heading into the NFL.
And also I think teams are looking for that. They're focused on that more. And then you got the defenses like Jesus. You got these DNs running 4-4s, and you got these linebackers running 4-3s now. I mean, you honestly, for the most part, need an athletic quarterback. And when you know how you say you watch Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
For me, it was watching Mahomes and Josh Allen. And like what stood out to you is the same thing that stood out to me. In that playoff game, all I seen was them extending plays. I mean, Josh Allen and Mahomes was running for their life, and they was just making play after play after play. I mean, both of them played up. I think I could say that was the perfect game by both quarterbacks. Like that was one of the most memorable playoff games I personally ever seen, and some of the best quarterback play I've ever seen. I thought they were both perfect. And then, I mean, it went all the way down to where Mahomes only had 13 seconds left, and he still got his team down there. Like, This is perfect football to me. That was perfect. And
it was a perfect late, because most people remember, that's kind of a low-scoring game heading into the fourth quarter. And then they just showed their ability of, all right, let me stop playing around with
it was back and forth. It was crazy.
Yeah. That game was kind of low scoring a little bit heading into the fourth quarter. And that's when I was looking at it it looked like this final score was going to be 20-23.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, man, 2023, that just goes to show no matter how good your quarterback is, I'm glad I didn't tweet this out, because I almost tweeted, hey, it just goes to show, these teams is 20-23, no matter how good your quarterback is, okay, they got 23 points. And then they did what they did. And I'm like, all right, yeah, these motherfuckers are just different. So.
Bro, it's almost hard to explain what they was doing. It was back and forth, 13 seconds. For the most part, you could pack it in with 13 seconds. No, not when you got a Patrick Mahomes on your squad. You have, every moment counts. Every moment counts. And it was some amazing football. And I truly pray that Trey Lance can be half of that. That's all I want is half.
I feel like you're selling yourself short, man. When you trade what they traded, to the number 3 spot to draft a quarterback with that type of ability, you don't want him to be half of those guys. You want it all.
But
you know what I'm saying? So I want it all. Obviously, I'll be patient with getting to that point, but I want it all.
You know who Kevin is, right? On Twitter Spaces.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Shout out to my guy Kev. He gonna hopefully he gets his YouTube show, because this guy is funny. But I just can't be like him, where he goes and says, with Trey Lance getting on the field, he's gonna be a top 5 quarterback stepping on the field.
Yeah, you gotta,
I'm just trying to measure
those comments. You gotta kind of take with a grain of salt, right? I think most people that are thinking logically will tell you that there has to be, or there will likely be some sort of learning curve. And for me, my biggest thing for Trey Lance is just does he get better from week to week? And I feel like there's going to be some games where he takes a step back, and then next game can he take 2 steps forward? And that's what I want to see from Trey Lance. I don't have like these lofty expectations, but Chris, I'm gonna get you off. I got a bunch of questions I'm gonna get to, but I appreciate you coming on.
All right, right on, Croc.
All right. And here's the link for anybody that wants to call in, but I definitely want to get to some of these starred comments that I have. First, let me start with my guy CJ. He says, been a minute since I caught it live. What up, Croc? Go Niners, and it's Trey time. It's been a minute because we ain't had no show, and now we will have it from here on out the rest of the season, unless I'm like traveling or something like that, to a 49er game, which I will be at a lot of 49er games this year. I'll be vlogging. I got a whole camera. I just got to learn how to do it for this thing, but man, I got a vlogging camera, man. I got my little thing where you press the little button. Man, we live, man. I'm going to be at the games for the most part, every road game. I'll be tailgating and doing Q&As with the fans right there, and I'm putting together a whole video, everything like that. So, man, we're going to have a good time during the season. Got my vlogging camera, all that good stuff. But it's been a minute because I stepped away for a while because I didn't want to just make up random topics every single day, every morning, which when we come on here, we don't just come on here and talk for 20 minutes. We come on here and talk for an hour and a half, right? So I didn't want to just come up here and like make up random stuff. So it's been a minute, but yeah, we here now. It's go time. Appreciate the contribution. I do have some questions here, so let me get to all these. First one. So what's your secondary lineup? Who's starting? Again, if you asking Coach Crocky, right? If I'm coaching 49ers and I'm looking for, all right, who are my starters going to be? I got Emmanuel Mosley, Travarius Ward, Jimmy Ward, and Hufanga. That's my starting 4 right there. And then when we go to more of a nickel package, I got Mosley sliding inside, and I got Jason Verrett starting on the outside. Let's go. So that's my starting 5 right there. We'll see if Ambry Thomas can unseat him. Jason Verrett was cleared there were guys that came off IR. Verrett was one of those. Let's go. What up? He's from Northwest. He meant to put Northwest. I saw the next comment. Arkansas. I'm looking forward to seeing the Lance IU chemistry develop into the season, as well as who wins the primary slot position. Thoughts? All right, so I gave my thoughts on the slot position. If it's me, we're talking about Emmanuel Mosley doing it. But as far as the Lance to IU chemistry, man, I've been watching those guys and just seeing their interactions throughout the offseason, and that means something. Understanding your receiver, understanding, who he is, how he ticks, him just getting comfortable, catching your passes, all those things, I think it means a lot. And we'll see if that can carry over to the season. Ayuk still has, growth to do as well. Maybe those guys grow together. That'd be a huge win for the San Francisco 49ers. Shout out to all my people from Arkansas, man. I'm kind of like the adopted son. You already know where I'm from, man. Stockton, California, but I'm out here in Arkansas now. Hey, Croc, do you think the speed of the NFL slowed down for Trey Lance already, or do you think it will take up to midseason reps? I think it'll take most of the season, right? And the reasoning for that is, one, I don't think it can slow down in just 2 games. I think you can understand a little bit more of the speed of it, but as far as really the game slowing down, it's not even, I think for the most part, it's, the game will really slow down for him when he truly understands what he's seeing from the defense and what Kyle Shanahan wants from him. So once he can see the game from Shanahan's eyes and what he's trying to do to the defense, then the game will really be slowed down for Trey Lance. We don't know how long that's going to take. I'd assume it'll take a full season of starting. But even when he's not there yet, there's still ways to kind of play around that. And some of what we've seen from what I will get to what somebody says in one of these next comments. So that's just kind of my thoughts on that. Here we go. Got my guy Moose. He says, "What's up, bro? I'm a new subscriber. Is this a daily morning show?" It is during the season. And now that we are, getting towards the training camp and all that, and things that are like meaningful, having meaningful conversations, all that type of stuff. Yes, it says daily. So salute to you. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. We here. I'm going to have guests on, other 49er content creators. I already talked about having a beat writer on every week. This person has agreed to come on. I'm excited about that. Excited for them to talk about their platform and what they do as well. But there's a 49ers beat writer that will be on the ground, seeing everything and being able to give that perspective right here on the show every Wednesday, I believe. All right, I got to text that person later today, and we're going to iron out all the details. Croc, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you say it seems at times Mahomes can be a one-read quarterback? All right, so yes, but the Mahomes that you're talking about right here, when I said that, I was talking about in his first year starting, so year 2, and I was watching them heading into the Super Bowl. I was watching a lot of Mahomes, and I'm like, he's not someone that just like scans the field like from the pocket. All right, it looked like he's seeing, okay, this is what the play call is. I know I want to go to this guy pre-snap. It looks like the defense is giving me that, right? So he looks and is like, all right, if Travis Kelce wins right now, or if Tyreek Hill wins right now, I can go to him. But if it's not there, and that's that one read, right? We're talking about, he would move and then just make a play off the move with his legs. Like, so, and what I mean with his legs, not to take off the run, but just, I'm going to run around, I'm going to run to the right, or I'm going to run to the left, and I'm going to hit the guy who's just open in front of me, and it kind of shrunk the field, but it made it easy for him. And that was a lot of what I saw from Mahomes that first year. I still think he does some of that, but I wouldn't necessarily say, oh, he's just this one-read guy, but definitely he will bail on a play. He will bail. And when you're a playmaker like that, you kind of let it go. He has kind of put himself in harm's way a little bit, throwing passes that can be picked off. He's thrown a lot of interceptable passes. I think early last year he was throwing a lot of passes that were in harm's way. He was throwing a little bit of interceptions and whatnot. But he throws the ball kind of hard, so I think it's kind of hard for defenders to kind of catch it. So he gets that luck too. Trey Lance will probably have that as well, where he'll throw some interceptable passes, but it's not like the easiest ball to catch, and defenders will probably drop a good amount of them. You'll probably see that a good amount with Trey. Trey already goes through his progressions and shows poise. Definitely. And that was one thing that that was what Steve Young talked about. Now, with Trey Lance, can he be quicker with it? Right? Like, can he be quicker with, like, boom, 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 ball out? I've seen it. Like I can point to these throws in every game since training camp, or like since last preseason. I can show you throws and plays where Trey Lance looked like, man, boom, boom. He's boom, processing, boom. And you can also see others where it's like a little like, I don't know, right? And I think those are the things where, can we get that? I don't know. Can we get that a few times as opposed to half the time? And if you get that, then, you'll see a better version of Trey Lance. But again, definitely does show the ability to go through progressions. Steve Young, I listened to him talk about it, and he was really high on Lance's ability to do that. I think his biggest thing was Lance's ability to execute what he's seeing, right? And in the process, deliver a catchable ball. So that's kind of the next step that Steve Young wants to see. A lot of this stuff with him, and again, we'll get more into this with Greg Pinelli, and I got to hit him today, but I'm just going to go out there and say he'll be on Monday. But and that's my QB guy. Had a big camp this past weekend out there in California, man. Big camp. Had 150 quarterbacks out there, man. He's the man. All right, but anyways, a lot of this stuff with Trey Lance is like just improving on things, like gradually. I don't expect to see these huge jumps, but just certain things. That's all I'm looking for. Consistently delivering a catchable ball. Being able to take a little bit of heat off of some of the intermediate passes. I think a lot of that will come with just when he starts to know more of what he's seeing from the defense. Again, we had that conversation with Greg Pinelli, and he talked about, and Greg trained Josh Allen, right? He's done a lot of work with Josh Allen. And Greg talked about Josh and some of his issues early on. Some of the things that led to accuracy issues. And it was more so one, definitely not knowing what he's seeing from a defense. And two, it was not truly understanding what the coordinator wanted on the offense. So the footwork would get messed up. He'd get a little sped up and a little fast in his mind. And instead of anticipating a throw, now I'm firing it in. We have definitely seen that with Trey Lance, right? Where it's like, oh, I'm late. Let me just throw it as hard as I can. Ball comes out a little wobbly. Ball comes out really hard because now I'm late. So now I got to muscle it in as opposed to just knowing like, oh, okay, I'm real comfortable. Remember that ball Trey Lance threw in the preseason? He threw a touchdown to Travis Benjamin, right? Y'all remember that? That was Trey Lance. That was peak Trey Lance. And what I mean by that is when Trey Lance is able to manipulate the defense, truly understand it, still have to gun it, but deliver a very good ball with velocity, but just boom on the money, right? In rhythm. I would expect, like, again, if you're a hard worker, you will start to see more of that. All right. You'll see more of that. And all that is about being just comfortable with what he's saying. He knew exactly okay, got this. I see this. Okay, let me look this way. Let me move this back or whatever. Okay, I'm looking to this side. And I know, okay, once he steps there, I'm going to hold this guy. And now I'm going to fire this ball in, which he threw a fastball, but a very good catchable fastball to Travis Benjamin for a touchdown. Right? We saw another play in that game where he threw a 2-ball, right? So, I learned these things from Greg Pinelli. You got 1 ball, 2 ball, 3 ball. 3 ball, a lot of air. 2 ball, on the line with a little bit of arc, maybe a layer throw. 1 ball, fastball, right? Well, he threw a 2 ball to, kind of in between the 2 and the 3, to Trent Sherfield down on the right sideline where you see Trey Lance. And again, when he knows what he's seeing, and that's the stuff that excites me, he looks at the safety. He holds the safety. And then he knows, okay, I got him on the, boom, throws a whole shot. Perfect spot in an position for a guy to catch. So again, those are the things where you see the ability. Now it's, can he just get comfortable when the entire playbook is thrown at him to where Kyle has all of these things at his disposal, and Trey Lance knows exactly what he's seeing from the defense and offense. Because when he does, it looks beautiful. When he does, it looks beautiful. When he doesn't, it can look ugly, right? We've seen that. So just get more comfortable. And I don't know how long that's going to take. But I'm not someone that's like rushing the timeline on that. I just know eventually, because of how he works, he'll get there. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. I see my guy from RSF 49ers. Let's go. I'm assuming that's Raj, right? Let's go. Big platform on Instagram. Go check that out right now. Subscribe. Follow his account on there. Here we go. We got another person calling in. I got my guy Wolf. Wolf, is that like your real name, or is that just what you go by? Or
wait up. I'm trying to see if I can hear this on my headphones real quick. Can you hear me pretty good?
Yeah, I got you. You're good.
Okay, cool. Well, it's good to meet you, bro. I'm happy for your success and everything. I go by Wolf. That's my ceremony name. I'm native. And
okay.
So, yeah, my legal name is Eli. My government name, that's what we call it. But I got
now, we're going to call you Wolf. We're going to call you Wolf, though.
Yeah. It's short for hunting wolf. But okay. Yeah, I appreciate you. I got something. It's a little curveball kind of as far as a topic, but it's a theory as well as a question. Now, I feel like when we play with our 94 throwback jerseys, we just got a different swag to us, man. Like, I feel like our team goes harder. And like, for example, I played college football in California as well.
Where at?
And Hartnell College in Salinas.
Yep.
Yeah, so we hadn't won, or even, I don't even think we had gone to the playoffs since like 92 or 91, something like that. Then we ended up getting new jerseys that year. And of course, everything goes into it. We got good players, good coaching and everything. But we used to come out in those new jerseys feeling fresh, swagged out, and like we were like Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel coming out that tunnel, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just feel like I mean, I feel like my team looks hard as fuck. The Niners, they look hard as fuck when they come out in those 94 jerseys, and I wish we could just go to those full time.
Now,
What do you think?
I really like the 94 uniforms. I do still like them more as an alternate because I think the 49ers have sweet uniforms. I love the uniforms that they wear, more full time, right? Their official home and away jerseys. But if you were to tell me twice a year they wear the 94 throwback red and twice a year they wear the all white, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But I like the permanent uniforms the most. I think the alternate uniforms and 94 throwbacks are a good switch up that, every once in a while. There are a lot of people that complain, oh, why they do that? And no, that's not 49er colors and blah, blah, blah. They complain about this. They complain about that. Like, dude, I like it for a switch up. I think it's solid. I would like to see, so the 94 throwbacks, we call them the 94 throwbacks, but they actually go way back. They go way back. And originally they were worn with red helmets. So that would be sweet to see the 49ers go all the way back and with the 94 uniforms, throw some red helmets on with those. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, there's all these teams are coming out with their alternate helmets like the Panthers and stuff right now too.
Yeah, I see that.
The Giants. So we'll see. But how do you feel on that theory though? As far as like, I feel like there's a certain different level of just swag and like they seem like they play harder. Honestly, I feel like if we're wearing that in the NFC Championship, it would have just been a different vibe.
Yeah, I don't think they let the 49ers, because I believe against the Chiefs, they tried to wear the all whites in the Super Bowl. And they didn't let them. The NFL didn't let them.
Yeah,
so,
when I saw that,
I don't know what's up with that. But
from what I heard on that, it was just because it was short notice.
Okay.
But of course,
it's always going to be short notice because you don't know if you're going to play in it. So
exactly, that's what I was going to say. Yep. Yes, sir.
But yeah, I agree with you on you look good, you play good. I'd say when I felt my best on the field, it was, it's like, man, you just feel more confident, comfortable. Now, what looked good to one person might not look good to the next person. So whatever that is for you and the way you put on your uniform, it's all about how you feeling it. But yeah, now I agree. When you do step on the field and you got that nice look to you, it feels different. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, man. Happy for all your success, and I'll let you go. No, you probably got
you, Wolf. You got to call in some more, man. I appreciate the phone call.
All right, will do. Take care.
All right, here we go. Coming up now, I got my guy Bucks Skull Gang. So what's Bucks Skull Gang? Are you a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan or?
Yeah, I'm a Bucks fan.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's what's up.
It's crazy. I'm from California, but I've been living in Florida most of my whole life, though. That's the thing.
Okay. Where you from in Cali?
Sacramento.
Okay, I'm from Stockton, so right there, right up the road. And then where you live in Florida?
Tampa.
Okay, I've been to Tampa. Man, try to see how much I can say, but I had a good time in Tampa. I had a game there.
Ybor? You been to Ybor?
I don't know where I can't lie. I don't know where I was, but I know I had a game there. Matter of fact, we had back-to-back games, one in Jacksonville and then one in Tampa. So we stayed out in Tampa for a whole week. Went to the casino, went to the beach.
Did you win?
Had a good time. Had a really good time.
Did you win though? Did you win in the casino? Did you win?
Nah, the casinos are set up for you to lose, man.
I know, man.
But I was very frugal then. I mean, I'm still very frugal now. So if I lose, typically I'm only gonna lose like, a few hundred. I'll lose like 300. Now, last time I was in Vegas about a month ago or so. I lost like 1,200. That's probably like the most I've ever lost at one time.
Wow. Yeah, man. Yeah. As a Bucks fan, I can't wait for. But I want to talk about Jimmy G first. But Jimmy G could go to the Bucks for. It'd be crazy to be Tom Brady back up again. That would be crazy.
Well, yeah, and it would have helped. But here's the issue. Now, what are we talking about? Are we talking about like Tampa Bay trading for Jimmy Garoppolo? Because if you do that, then you take on a lot of his contract. So
Yeah.
I'd assume
Maybe like fourth
that
round pick. Maybe like what the Browns did. Maybe fourth or fifth.
yeah, but you got to take on so much of his contract, and are you going to pay either 24 or even if you get him to kind of negotiate, you're going to have to renegotiate the whole contract. Like it's a weird
Because
situation. Now, if the 49ers just let him go, and we'll see if that happens. But if the 49ers just let him go, and the Tampa's like, all right, hey, we want to sign you to a 2-year contract, and you'll be the guy when
yeah,
uh,
Tom
Brady
Brady's gone.
leaves, then that's a little different.
That's a great pickup, but I believe in Kyle Trask though.
See, Kyle Trask, we'll see. I thought he had some legit,
He was great in college. He was great in college. He
college.
made
It was
he
solid. Like
made
he threw a
but
very catchable ball, maybe too catchable. I'm like, the arm
he
strength
made
is a little.
Tony and Cal Pitts look good with this offense.
Yeah, but Kyle Pitts was just hella good. And Tony was just, so I don't know how much of his Trask. I think his game was very good for college.
Did
The
you,
NFL, a little different, but you never know.
it's
I'd
funny
say
though.
this. I
Did
think
you
the
know
fact that he was the third string quarterback and just didn't play a snap.
he was a
I mean,
He
obviously
was a
you're with
starter.
Brady, but I don't know.
Oh, he was a starter for the for the Gators, but he had he had more passing yards and touchdowns, and when he was drafted in the second round though. Out of all those quarterbacks, he had like more yardage and touchdowns out of everybody.
Yeah.
But it
Nah,
doesn't make any sense.
he had a good game.
But I can't wait for the game in December 11th though when the Bucks play the Niners. Oh my
I
God,
know.
Tom Brady goes to California. Oh my God,
I know. Are you plan on traveling to that game?
I don't know. That man, that's gonna be expensive. That's gonna be ridiculous prices.
You just got to start putting away money now. Like, okay, $200 this month, $200 next
Hello,
month. By the time you get to November, you'll be able to go.
man, the prices. I know, but are you gonna go?
I don't know. I just said all that about you going, and I don't even think I'm going. But I am going I'm going to the road games though. So
Yeah, but did you but Jimmy G though? But do you think what's realistic he could go? The Giants, realistically,
I think it'd
maybe.
be tough. So I do like the Giants for him, but I'd say I lean more towards no because I don't. They're definitely not all in on Jones, Danny
Yep.
Dimes, right? But because they're not, they went and got Tyrod Taylor, and I think that's their insurance for Daniel
Yeah.
Jones. So I think they
Yeah.
want to give Jones every opportunity to play,
Yeah.
and if he just falls on his face, they're gonna go with Tyrod Taylor. So
Maybe
I
the
don't assume
maybe the
that they'll.
Falcons. You see the Falcons going in.
Uh, nah, because I mean, giving Mariota 2 years, they drafted a quarterback third round. Again, are they better than Jimmy Garoppolo? I think most people would say no. Are they in position to take on
To
a Jimmy
win,
Garoppolo who you
to win
probably want to
now.
be closer to a win now team?
Yeah, but it'll be good for the probably the best spot. It is Tampa Bay. Probably to be realistic. Realistically,
I'd say the Browns, but if the Browns come out, and I just saw the report, I don't know how true it is, but it sounded like the Browns were like, we're out on the Jimmy Garoppolo sweepstakes. And so if
Mm.
that's the case, then I don't know. But that's a great situation
but
for them. They got a
but
terrific defense on every level.
why would you
Offensively,
trade
they have
for
a ton of weapons with their running backs. They got Chubb. They
doesn't
got
doesn't
the
make no
guy from
sense.
Kansas City, Kareem Hunt.
They just traded Baker away for a fifth. Now you want to, but you got Jacoby Brissett for the backup position.
Right. So I know,
But
but how would you take Brissett or Garoppolo?
uh, but we got Deshaun Watson though. That's the thing.
When's he coming back? So that's the big question. If Watson is going to play this year, then Jimmy's out completely, and maybe that's what the Browns know. Like, nah, Watson's coming back. So
Maybe it all depends on the price tag and what's the trade worth.
right. Yep. I agree.
Well, a lot of people said the 49ers wants a first round pick before. Remember, it was first round picks.
They
That's
ain't
not.
getting no first unless somebody gets hurt. If
Yeah.
somebody gets hurt, one of these teams, let's say the Minnesota Vikings, all of a
Captain
sudden
Kirk.
Kirk Cousins, who's never missed a game, but so
Yeah.
knock on wood, he gets hurt and he's out in training camp towards ACL. Knock on wood again.
Might be
There's injury
maybe the
anyway.
Lions might be the
That'd be a
best
good
option.
spot.
Maybe the Lions could be the best option for Jimmy G.
maybe. But I think Jared Goff and Jimmy G are kind of like similar a little bit.
Yeah. But I don't know why you guys should get rid of Jimmy G like that, 49ers. But you guys had a chance to go to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G, won the Super Bowl. And now you guys going to turn you guys back on Jimmy G like that?
I wouldn't look at it like that. I'd say Jimmy did some things. I don't want to say he did it, but, getting hurt a few different times, that kind of started to set the stage up for that. And then maybe seeing how he doesn't necessarily move the needle in the sense of, your offense and really taking things above and beyond.
How about this? Jimmy G took
I
the
think that
49ers
opened
to
the door
the
for
playoff last year. 49ers, out of the last 3 years, Jimmy G took the 49ers to the postseason run. One Super Bowl.
I would say if you talk to more 49er fans, they would say Jimmy did not take them to the postseason, but definitely was a part of the team.
Yeah. But if the 49ers do take Jimmy G to the playoff this year, was his job safe? If he does stay with the 49ers and no trade, that means Trey Lance could be gone? Wow,
Potentially.
that's crazy. Could be crazy.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
But do you really? Why would the 49ers trade Trey Lance? But I heard people don't believe in his talent, though. That's the reason why I heard before. According to the reports, 49ers don't believe in Trey Lance yet. I don't know who's right and who's wrong. According to their sources, people said Jimmy G was the one there before. Now 49ers believes now Trey Lance. Because who was the one that reported that Jimmy G wanted to be traded, or is that coming from camp?
It was part of just the 49ers plan. And they said they felt comfortable enough with what they seen from Trey Lance to trade Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
So
My
that
name's
tells
Eric
me
too.
that they believe.
Yeah, my name's Eric too, but that's why there's a lot of Erics in communities. That's why I changed my name to Buck Skull Game. It's a lot of it's too many Erics in this YouTube world.
Yeah, I feel you. But all right, Eric, man, it was nice having you on, bro. I appreciate you calling in.
You too, bro.
All right. Shout out to my guy Eric. But anyways, man, it feels good to be back. Got over 170 people in here right now. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. We will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. I don't know where y'all at, so I'll just say Central or California time, 6:30 a.m. Pacific. Central time, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, 9:30 a.m. There we go. Just cover our bases, all that good stuff. Shout out to everybody that tunes in to the Locked On 49ers. Come at you 5 days a week with myself and my guy Brian Peacock. So listen to that wherever you listen to your podcast or on YouTube as well. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. You can barely see it because of what I got right there, but there we go. Underdog Fantasy. Download the app right now or go to underdogfantasy.com. Use promo code Crocky. Whatever you deposit, they'll match that up to $100. Underdog Fantasy showed me a really good time out in New York, and my wife too. My wife was there. They showed us a good time. But that's gonna do it for this episode, man. We're gonna be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Let's get it. Let's go Niners. We back. Let's go.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Aaron Crocker over midfield. He'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Crop Talk TV podcast. Peace.